This video is for my plumbers, my HVAC techs, my electricians, my skilled tradesmen that run their own businesses and frequently get a conversation like this. Ring, ring, ring. Yeah, hello? How can I help you? Oh yeah, hi, my name is ABC General Contractor, blah, blah, blah. And how much do you charge for X, Y, and Z service? You proceed to give them your price, and they say something along the lines of, you know, that's just too much. That's too expensive for me. Okay. Thank you for calling. Have a wonderful day. That's my price. What I've learned is there are two types of business models in the industry. There is a high volume, low margin type of business model, right? And that's going to be your construction, your remodels, anything that is subcontracted, like through a property management company. Anytime there's a middleman involved, it's going to be high volume, low margin. And for some people that works. I have a buddy who all he does is work for General Contractors, and he does great. And so if you can work really efficiently and you have a really low overhead, you don't like dealing with Karen type customers, residential customers, then do that business model. But the other business model is high margin, low volume. And what this means is you primarily deal directly with the customer. So for plumbers, this would be like repipes, where you're repiping someone's home directly for the homeowner. Electricians, this is panel swap outs, right? Service calls. These are high margin, low volume services. And the thing is, everybody wants these services, but they're more difficult to get because you have to actively market. You have to actively brand. You have to establish your company as trustworthy enough to deserve the business of these types of clients. And so I firmly believe that you should pick one or the other and make that your primary focus. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying you should never do business in the other category. I work with general contractors that I absolutely love working with, that are a pleasure and a joy to work with. Dan, if you're watching this video, you know who you are. Love you, bro. But yeah, there are several general contractors that I work with that are just a joy to work with. And to be fair, there is a bit of a give, right? If you are working with a general contractor, you're not going to be able to charge as much as if you charge a homeowner. But you shouldn't charge so little that you're barely making a profit either. There's got to be a give and take. And so what I have found is that if you find the right customers, they will respect your prices. Now, quick story. I had a guy call me up the other day, and he was a kitchen remodeler. And he asked me what my minimum charge for a disconnect on a kitchen was and what I would charge to hook it back up. And I told him $250 was the minimum for the disconnect. And I think I told him $500 or $600 for the kitchen, but after having my conversation with him, I realized it probably needs to be closer to $1,000, and I was just misquoting him because I was in the sun all day and wasn't thinking. Anyways, he hemmed and hawed over the disconnect price. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, hold on. Whatever I do, whenever I do a kitchen disconnect, or one of my guys does a disconnect, we've got a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour of travel time. Then we have to turn the water off. And then we have to drain everything down, disconnect the P-traps, disconnect the fixtures, disconnect the supply lines, pull everything out, cap off those supply lines, cap off the drain line. I mean, that's a minimum of like an hour, let's say an hour, if everything goes super smooth, and realistically probably more like 2 hours with traffic and drive time. And so I told him, yeah, $250 is going to be my minimum for that. That's just my hard and fast rule. If I'm working for a GC and if I can't get $250 out of a single service or a single trip, it's just not worth my time. I've got plenty of customers that want to do business with us. And he kind of hemmed and hawed and was like, yeah, I have other people that are willing to do it for $200, $150. And you know what my response was? Call them. good luck. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for calling. Thank you for the opportunity, right? I mean, do not degrade yourself and lower your value by hemming and hawing back and considering dropping your price. It just makes you lower value. Guys, you are a quality craftsman. You've been doing this for years. You're a master of your trade. Charge what you're worth. Or don't charge what you're worth, but get a lot of work to make up for the difference. Know your target customer. For me, I'm high margin, low volume. My buddy Donnie, he's low margin, high volume, but it works for him because he doesn't have all the stuff that I have, like lettered out trucks. And well, he's got lettered out trucks, but he doesn't have like all the money invested in the marketing, the advertising. He's got a more simpler business, and I think it works for him. And, he's very successful. He's been in business for over 10 years. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a dear friend of mine. I'm not talking crap. I'm just saying, know your business model, know your target audience, and if someone comes to you and they are outside of that target audience, do not be afraid to wish them well and move on with your day. Focus is the tool of the entrepreneur. If you are focused, you will succeed. That's all I have to say. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.